And the fact that it is so effective, the European Union has now identified or acknowledged that natural immunity is indeed a prerequisite to enter their territories. So you can enter the European Union now based off of natural infection. And you can show them you had a previous natural infection. They would allow you as immune to the virus. Why has Barbados not analyzed this parameter as well, natural immunity?
Dr. Williams?
I just want to say quickly to this gentleman, sir, have you ever had the flu? Have you ever had the flu?
Flu, common cold, dengue fever.
Influenza, the flu, common cold.
Yes.
Have you ever had it more than once?
There are different strains of the flu.
Okay.
4 different strains.
Did you become immune once you had the flu once?
If I become
immune once you had the flu once. In other words,
I understand the question.
So hold on, let me finish. In that particular flu season, if you got the flu, you probably would not get it again in that flu season. But by the following year, you might get the flu again, or 6 months later, or later on down the road, you might get the flu again. And the reason is because although your body has experienced the flu before, when you now encounter the influenza again, it is not exactly the same as the one you encountered before. So even though you may have had some immunity, the immunity wanes over time. So your immunity wanes over time. How much time it takes for our immunity to wane against COVID completely, we are still studying that. We're still looking at how long that immunity lasts. Hold on, let me finish. You spoke, I'm speaking. Okay? And the second part of that is that while you are waning from the immunity of the variant that you experience, other variants are coming into the space to which you have not developed immunity. So what we found is that people who were initially infected with the what we call the original strain that came out of China back in early in 2020, they also went on to get COVID sometimes more than one time. So their immunity, which they had to the original variant, waned, and they became susceptible and were infected again. So now we have cases where people have had COVID more than once. Now, if we all decided to let, no vaccine, no protection, no nothing, and we just did what we wanted and let people develop natural immunity, we would have an unacceptable number of deaths. Remember what I talked about? 5 to 7% of the population becoming seriously ill or hospitalized? Well, that would overwhelm our healthcare system. And not only would we get deaths from COVID, but then you would get deaths from all the other things indirectly, because we would not have the resources to treat the day-to-day things that normally we should be able to prevent from deaths. And as I told you before, death is not the only endpoint. So if we just let it go to natural immunity and say, well, everyone just develop immunity, we would have an unacceptable number of people who were hospitalized, ill, and die, and also a number of people who die from other causes as well.
Now, you asked me a question. Could I respond? Now, when you look at natural immunity, you are offering a vaccine, right? A vaccine is supposed to simulate. I heard somebody said earlier, it teaches. No, it does not. It simulates an infection, correct? So the vaccine simulates an infection so that the body can...
No, sir, sorry, I have to stop you there. Vaccines don't stimulate an infection.
I said simulate.
Oh, simulate an infection.
Forgive my diction.
Right.
Yes, simulate.
But
so
hold on. I have to stop you again. What the vaccine is doing is it's priming your immune system to produce what we call an adaptive immune response. So if we put a part of the virus into you, or we put the whole inactivated virus into you, it stimulates your immune system so that when you meet the actual virus, you can then have a strong immune response to it. What we have found is, especially with these mRNA vaccines, we can stimulate an even stronger immune response in your body than when you encounter the virus by itself and have your natural immunity. That is why people who had COVID-19, we recommended that there is a period of time and then they be vaccinated as well. So even people who have had the disease receive the vaccine, because the vaccine gives a stronger overall response than having the actual infection itself.